The Chess Olympiad 2014 from Tromsø, Norway. It's going to be a great Olympiad. They're predicting that 100 million people will watch the games online, 1,500 different competitors, as well as 160 nations. What a great event. I'm told this is the fourth largest sporting event in the world. Don't miss any of the action. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Round 5 of the 41st Chess Olympiad being played in Tromsø, Norway. Two very top, well-known players. This is the Ukraine-Uzbekistan match. As white for Ukraine, the genius, I think, of chess in a lot of ways. Vasily Ivanchuk is white. Rustam Kasimdzhanov, if you remember Rustam, he is the former FIDE world champion. I saw him in an interview. It's been 10 years already since he's been world champion. That's when they had the split championship, FIDE and the other championship, until they combined them together. Ivanchuk is white. Kasimdzhanov is black. It's going to be a Queen's Gambit declined. Let's just go through the first few moves here. We've probably seen this a lot of times. I'm starting to play D4 a lot myself, so I've got to get familiar with some of the D4 openings. I'm going to be playing in the Millionaire Chess Tournament in Las Vegas this October. $1 million in total prize money guaranteed. It's going to be a hell of a tournament. I'm going to get some video and have some of the games that I played in when I come back for my YouTube channel here, so look for that at the end of October. Bishop H4, Castle, E3, Knight E4, going right after the knight immediately. Bishop takes, Queen takes. Ivanchuk leaves the tension and just develops his rook. If he does take the knight, I'll tell you the truth, I don't think at the end of the world would be taking with the pawn, to be honest with you. But rook might be an alternative as well. C6, just reinforcing the D5 pawn for black. Also it guards the B5 square. Bishop D3, just getting developed. Knight takes, rook takes, D takes, bishop takes. Now you see that a lot. When white moves his light squared bishop, black will take here to make him move the bishop again. Knight to D7. White finally castles. B6. Queen to C2. And bishop B7. The Fritz 13 computer on off screen's got about a half a pawn advantage for white, which is pretty much standard stuff. I'm sure these guys are still in their preparation. I've seen Ivanchuk go over games that were 10 years old in interviews, and he'll go through the variations in his head with no notes from 10 years ago. Pretty crazy. Great though. Great to watch. Fascinating. Bishop comes back. Trying to get some power here on the C file. C5. Just to bust that up. Bishop checks. Makes the king move. And then he goes bishop B4. Now for some reason he wanted that king on H8. Don't know why. C takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. It's pretty even right here. I mean, literally. It's almost a symmetrical position. 4 pawns and 2 on each side. Both have a single knight and double rooks and a queen. Shows a slight edge for white. Quarter of a pawn maybe. Maybe because he controls more center squares. Knight to C5. Hitting the queen. Queen goes back to C2, of course. A5. For Kasimdzhanov. The games like this, I have trouble with formulating a plan. There's not much going on here, so you've got to make something from nothing. These guys can, but I have trouble with it. Rook to C1. Now you got all the power here. Almost an Alyoshin's gun. Queen to B7 just backs up. What he's really trying to do is try to guard this space here. So when he brings his rook over, they're going to have a massive trade. Queen E2. And he moves the rook there. I'm not sure which rook he should have moved there, to be honest with you. It's always troubling for me which rook to move. H3, just to leave an escape score for his king for the future date. Excuse me. King to G8. It's kind of a waste of tempo because he was on G8 originally. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Ivanchuk checked him, just to force him in the corner. Queen to B5. He's getting a little aggressive here. Queen to D7. Offers a trade of queens. And Ivanchuk trades. If Queen had taken B6, Knight A4, Queen takes, Rook. And of course that's a huge advantage for Black. And then Rook takes Queen. King to F1. Now the queens are off the board. You can start getting your king towards the center of the board. King's a very powerful piece in endgames. King to F8. Kasimdzhanov does the same. King to E2. King to E7. It's a well-known principle. And these guys are world-class players. Moves his rook up. Rook to D6. A lot of maneuvering going around now. A3. A4. Just to stop the advance. A rook to C4. What to do? And Black has an interesting idea. Computer calls for F5 or F6. He goes rook to A5. Interesting move. Very interesting. Got to remember now, if he moves this knight, this rook's got to babysit this pawn. F4, G5, G3, King to D7. King's coming over towards the queen side. E4. Knight takes C4. And I'll tell you the truth. This is where Ivanchuk, I think, just collapses mentally. I don't know what happened to him. I remember in the tournament, the Challengers tournament, that Magnus Carlsen won on tiebreaks over Kramnik in London, the candidates final. I think he flagged in 3 different games. A man of this chess level. Sometimes he just can't, mentally he just collapses. And I think this is what happened here. Knight to C6. Not a very good move. But we're going to see what happens here is even worse. Rook to C5. Not knight takes. After king to F3, rook to D3, king to F2. And White's back in the game. Knight to E5. It's just making it worse, but what else can he do when he moved that knight to C6? And king to E7. And I think something happened to Ivanchuk. And he just completely, as Gary Kasparov said when they're going over in this game on, I was watching the Chess Olympiad online, he just collapsed. Sometimes his mind just goes. He plays F takes G5. It's now over a 4-point lead. Rook takes C5 was a viable alternative after pawn takes rook to C4. Granted, White is worse, but you can hang in there. But after F takes G5, rook takes, he just drops a piece. Vasily Ivanchuk just drops a piece. It's crazy. After, give you an idea what would have happened. Check, king, G takes, knight takes, king F3, rook D3 check, king G2, and rook to H5, and White's doomed. So Ivanchuk throws in the towel. Tough break for the Ukraine team. Ukraine and Russia are always some of the top teams. And as we say here in America, crap happens. Anyway, folks, that's the game between Ivanchuk and Kasimdzhanov. I hope you enjoyed it. I just currently made a video called the FIDE presidential vote and my opinions on what happened and what I think the future of chess is because of it. It's on one of my videos, the video just prior to this. If you could listen to that and please comment, I would love to hear your opinions. And also your comments and opinions on this game. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Cordisco's Corner Store is hosting its 5th annual chess championship. The Broome County Chess Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial got started over the weekend. Organizer John Cordisco says it's an opportunity for chess fans, both experts and newcomers, to test their level of skill. There are 2 sections depending on level of play, and both have cash prizes for the top 3 winners.
We draw some really good players. There's some pretty good players in this county, and it's a very high quality chess compared to the number of people in the area. It's a great tournament, and I encourage people to come down and just to watch if they want.
The second and final round is this Sunday from 10 until 4, and it takes place at Cordisco's Corner Store at 308 Shenango Street in Binghamton.